Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best Toph moments on Avatar and Legend of Korra.
You've seen nothing once, you've seen it 1,000 times. Keep your knees high, Twinkle Toes!
You give Metalbenders a bad name!
For this list, we're looking at scenes that capture the blind bandit at the height of her awesomeness. What's your favorite Toph moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Toph trains Aang.
The key to earthbending is your stance. You've got to be steady and strong. Rock is a stubborn element. If you're going to move it, you've got to be like a rock yourself.
After joining Team Avatar as its resident earthbending master, Toph sets out to teach Aang, or smush the airbender in the process.
Maybe there's another way. What if I came at the boulder from a different angle?
No, that's the problem. You've got to stop thinking like an airbender.
Compared to Katara's nurturing approach to education, Toph is more like a drill sergeant, one that can wear rocks as armor and fling boulders. Earthbending and airbending require completely different mindsets, which is reflected by Toph and Aang's polar opposite personalities.
Actually, there is a better way. This way, you'll really have to sense the vibrations of the boulder to stop it. Thank you, Katara.
Yeah, thanks, Katara.
Along with teaching the basics of earthbending, Toph's crash course is packed with hilarious moments, and it does a great job of evolving the blind bandit's early rapport with Team Avatar.
You did it! You're an earthbender.
Number 9. Toph and Iroh drink tea.
Oh, that really hurt my tailbone.
Unsurprisingly, putting together two of Avatar's best characters leads to a memorable scene full of introspection, character growth, and a few laughs along the way.
Here is your tea. You seem a little too young to be traveling alone.
You seem a little too old.
Fiercely independent, Toph initially struggles to get along with Team Avatar, especially Katara. After being yelled at by Aang, Toph leaves the group, only to run into everyone's favorite uncle.
People see me and think I'm weak. They want to take care of me. But I can take care of myself by myself.
You sound like my nephew, always thinking you need to do things on your own without anyone's support.
Iroh and Toph's quiet talk over a cup of tea helps both characters consider their situations from different angles, motivating the Earthbender to return to Team Avatar.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Sharing tea with a fascinating stranger is one of life's true delights.
No, thank you for what you said. It helped me.
This moment even leads to another great scene in Avatar, when Toph and Zuko have their talk during the Ember Island Players.
All your uncle wanted was for you to find your own path and see the light. Now you're here with us. He'd be proud.
Ow! What was that for?
That's how I show affection.
Number 8. Toph stalls the library's descent.
Library's sinking! Library's sinking!
As a master, Toph is introduced as a powerhouse, and any lingering doubts about her abilities should be gone within a few episodes.
What is it now?
With the rest of Team Avatar exploring a library to learn the date of the eclipse, Toph is left to hold the building up when the massive structure begins to sink.
Don't make me put this down!
The desert sand limits Toph's strength considerably, but the Earthbender still manages to stall the building's descent for long enough for the other characters to escape.
No! Stop sinking!
While overshadowed by the Sandbenders kidnapping Appa, Toph's accomplishment deserves to be acknowledged.
I'm sorry, Appa.
Number 7. Toph and Korra spar. Some things never change.
If there's one thing I learned on the beat, it's that the names change, but the streak stays the same.
Toph's run in The Legend of Korra almost feels like it goes through the Earthbender's greatest hits.
I thought Beifong was grumpy.
I'm the original Beifong.
After greeting Korra as Twinkle Toes, Toph puts the Avatar through the ringer, just like the good old days.
Thank you!
You want to hug something, go hug a tree. We're here to work.
As she instructs Korra, her earthbending remains a delight to behold.
Tell me what you did wrong.
Well, I was thinking that you were gonna—
Exactly. You were thinking. Go again.
The years have also not softened Toph's snark or teaching style. with Korra getting the privilege of experiencing both.
Pathetic. Of all the avatars I've worked with, you're by far the worst. I know that's only one other avatar, but still.
The blind bandit only has a couple of scenes in The Legend of Korra, but it is just awesome to see that Toph is still Toph.
I see everything. You're blind compared to me.
Number 6. Toph defies her parents and joins Team Avatar.
What are you doing here, Twinkle Toes?
Born to a wealthy family and blind, Toph was sheltered by her parents, who believed that she needed to be under constant lock and key to protect her.
Toph is still learning the basics.
Yes, and sadly, because of her blindness, I don't think she will ever become a true master.
Toph rebelled by secretly taking part in earthbending tournaments, but the arrival of Aang would inspire the blind bandit to come clean to her parents.
She is blind and tiny and helpless and fragile. She cannot help you.
Yes, I can.
Toph's mother and father do not react well to their daughter's plea for autonomy, forcing the earthbender to leave.
I've let you have far too much freedom. From now on, you will be cared for and guarded 24 hours a day.
It takes considerable strength of character to turn away from the life she's always known to head out on a quest filled with danger, but also freedom.
My dad changed his mind. He said I was free to travel the world.
Well, we better get out of here before your dad changes his mind again.
Good idea.
Number 5. Team Avatar versus the Royal Earthbender Guards.
I think we should just keep flying and leave this horrible place behind us.
I'm with Sweetness. I've seen enough of bossing say. And I can't even see.
When Team Avatar needs an audience with the Earth King, the heroes have no choice but to force their way into a meeting. While everyone gets a moment to shine during the sequence, Toph steals the show and makes an army of Ba Sing Se's best earthbenders seem like rookies still learning to move their first rocks.
Sorry, we just need to get through to see the Earth King.
Toph leads the charge and expertly controls the crowd of guards, while Sokka and Katara apologize to the thoroughly outmatched and defeated earthbenders.
Seriously, we're actually on your guys' side.
It's always a sight to behold whenever Toph cuts loose, and this sequence delivers the goods in every way.
Toph, which way to the Earth King?
How should I know? I'm still voting we leave bossing say.
Number 4. Toph's metal armor. Although Toph takes a bit of a backseat during Avatar's final episodes, the Earthbender still gets a couple of epic moments.
Have I ever mentioned how sweet it is that you invented Metalbending?
You could stand to mention it more.
She plays an instrumental part in taking down the Fire Nation's airships, a process that involves the blind bandit essentially metal bending into a mecha suit. Most earthbenders would be useless in a ship floating miles above the ground, but Toph only needs a metal door to spread all sorts of chaos. Her strength doesn't only stem from the character's innate earthbending ability, but also her willingness to think outside the box and get creative.
That's how it's done.
Number 3. Melon Lord. With Sozin's comet only 3 days away and Aang feeling ill-prepared, Sokka puts together a mock battle to prepare for the big day.
Gather around, Team Avatar. In order to take out the Fire Lord, or in this case, the Melon Lord, our timing has to be perfect.
Naturally, such a training session requires a stand-in for the Fire Lord. And who better to take on the mantle than the Melon Lord?
What about me?
For now, you're the Melon Lord's forces.
So I get to chuck flaming rocks at all of you?
Whatever makes the training feel more realistic.
Sweetness.
Toph embraces her character with the vigor and energy of a Saturday morning cartoon villain, complete with an evil laugh and a penchant for theatrics.
I am not Toph. I am Melon Lord!
Despite lasting for just a few minutes, the Melon Lord might be a more memorable antagonist than Ozai. Number 2. Toph versus the Boulder.
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The Boulder versus your champion, the Blind Bandit!
Visions aside, Toph makes her debut in an underground tournament match against the Boulder.
She can't really be blind. It's just part of her character, right?
I think she is.
I think she is going down!
The fight, if it can be called that, only needs about a minute to convey Toph's uniqueness, confidence, snarkiness, and earthbending mastery.
The Boulder feels conflicted about fighting a young, blind girl.
Sounds to me like you're scared, Boulder.
The Boulder's over his conflicted feelings, and now he's ready to bury you in a rock-a-lanche.
Fittingly for a character who would provide some of the funniest and most badass moments in Avatar, Toph's introductory scene succeeds in both of those things. While earthbending techniques tend to be aggressive and not too subtle, Toph outmaneuvers the Boulder using her intelligence and not only her overwhelming strength. The blind bandit knows how to leave a lasting first impression. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Toph takes out an army. Even decades later, Toph still got it.
You give Metalbenders a bad name!
Toph versus Dai Li agents, showing them who's the master. Toph versus Earth Rumble 6 contestants, because Toph refuses to hide who she is any longer.
They're mine.
Toph learns earthbending from badger moles, picking up earthbending from the element's original masters.
They were blind, just like me, so we understood each other. I was able to learn earthbending, not just as a martial art, but as an extension of my senses. For them, the original earthbenders, it wasn't just about fighting. It was their way of interacting with the world.
Toph and the bullies, because revenge is a dish best served by Toph.
No, that was a good one. Like your poodle monkey. You know what else is a good one?
Now that was funny.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Toph creates metalbending. Take Earth away from the blind bandit, and she'll just invent a new style of bending. For a long time, metallic prisons were the bane of every earthbender. However, something as fragile as a metal coffin could never hope to keep Toph contained.
Let me out of here so I can kick both your butts.
Quit your banging! You might think you're the greatest earthbender in the world, but even you can't bend metal.
After being captured by her parents' hired benders, Toph realizes the only way to escape is to abolish a long-held belief that earthbenders cannot metal bend.
Come on, metal fudge. Woo! Toph, you rule.
This groundbreaking act positions the character as perhaps the greatest earthbender in the world, if not ever. And Toph isn't too humble to state as much.
I am the greatest earthbender in the world. Don't you two dunderheads ever forget it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.